Hey everyone, Ariel Adams here with aBlogtoWatch. Please subscribe to our videos on YouTube and like this video if you find it useful. This is a review of the Porsche Design Chronotimer Series 1 Deep Blue. Deep Blue refers to this specific reference of the Chronotimer Series 1, which is being called the first watch that Porsche Design has created, quote unquote, on their own without the assistance of a full production partner. So while Porsche Design doesn't produce all the parts in-house, it controls all the manufacturing and suppliers and assembly internally. Previously, it had done so through a company called Eterna. This is still a Swiss-made product. It's very nice, but this is the first sort of quote-unquote Porsche Design-made timepiece, and others will follow. There's been a lot of things said about the Chronotimer Series 1 since it was first debuted, and I really think this is the type of watch that if you are fond of it, you really sort of need to see it hands-on. It's not a perfect timepiece, few watches are, but there's a lot of things to like about this, and as a tool watch, I think that Porsche Design did a good job. Now there's a variety of versions of the Chronotimer Series 1, and I'll tell you what they sort of all have in common. They all have the same case design. All of them are in titanium, but some of them are finished in a black coated titanium. This one is a high polished titanium, which I happen to like and found very distinctive. And there's different dial designs. So even though they're all chronographs, the hour markers are different in some, and there's sort of slight differences. In this particular deep blue version, it's supposed to have some blue on the dial there, though it is hard to see. Apparently the rings for the chronograph subdials here and here are a deep blue, but they just all look black to me. Where you see the blue is on this textile style strap. Legibility is very good. I found that reading the watch in a variety of lighting conditions is great because of the high contrast. The sapphire crystal, which is domed, does have some reflectivity, so you can see that it is sort of refracting a lot of light, but it's still a very kind of legible dial, which I like a lot. I like the minimalism. I mean, you get Porsche Design for what I'll call sophisticated minimalism. That's what the company is good at. If you're looking for something more ostentatious or showy, then don't go to Porsche Design. If you're looking for something that feels high-end but is still very functional, they do a good job at that. So let's put the Chronotimer Series 1 on. One of the things that's been annoying about this, it actually isn't annoying now that it's sort of worn in, but the strap, like many straps, is initially stiff. And the deployant is a tension deployant only, meaning that because the strap is stiff, the watch wants to sort of come off. And because the deployant doesn't lock, it can get kind of annoying. But as you can see here, after I've worn it in a little bit, it's fine. The polished titanium looks fantastic, and the case is 42 millimeters wide. It's on the thicker side, but it definitely fits well, and I like it. Again, there's sort of larger lugs there. So if you have smaller wrists, which I do, this is about the limit of what I think looks good on my wrist. But it's definitely sort of a sizable timepiece, and that's something I like. Inside the watch is a Swiss at a Valgio 7750 automatic chronograph movement, and it's behind a smoked sapphire crystal there. So for design purposes, Porsche Design decided to put sort of a smoked, a kind of a black smoked sapphire crystal over the movement, whereas this would normally be something that was, more fully transparent. And you can see the movement's nicely decorated underneath. This is, one of the sort of top grade versions of the 7750. Custom Porsche Design rotor there, which is nice. But it's just sort of a weird thing because you see the movement back there, but it also is seen through this degree of opacity, which I find to be slightly interesting. It's cool looking, but again, you really want to sort of emphasize the view of the movement. So that's interesting. So that was a unique design choice. Even though there's a lot of simplicity in the design, lots of smooth lines, you have cool details, sort of like this nice texture around the crown, which makes it very, very easy to operate. These slight rings around the plunger-style chronograph pushers, which are nice. And again, the legibility is just something that I can't speak more highly of, because I do like legibility a lot and think that if you have a sporty tool watch and it's not legible, there isn't really a lot of reason to wear it. On the wrist, I have found something interesting about this watch, that despite the size, it is very light, and because I'm able to get a nice snug fit thanks to the strap, I don't really feel it's there. And that's a distinction I have with a lot of watches. Watches that you are constantly being reminded they're there, and then some watches that you have to ask yourself, am I still wearing my watch? Is it still on my wrist? And with the Chronotimer Series 1, I find myself checking my wrist to see if the watch is still there because it's light, but also because it wears in a very snug way. So I have to say the comfort for this timepiece is very high, and that's something that's very difficult to determine just by looking at the design. Overall, there's really not that many sort of secrets to be said about the watch. Couple things like, I'd like to have a lock-in deployant. The case is only water resistant to 50 meters. I would have preferred about 100 meters. And I would like to have more luminant on the dial. There's lume on the hands and then at certain corners of the watch. I think there's 5 or 6 lume points. I would have preferred full lume points all around for the hour markers and as well as lumed hands for the chronograph the subdials as well as the chronograph hands. That doesn't exist here. Not that big of a deal. Many chronographs don't, but there's something to be aware of. This is actually one of the sort of entry-level prices of the Chronotimer Series 1. The watch is available on a bracelet as well as with various like black coatings, like I said, so that shoots the price up a little bit. But this version, the Chronotimer Series 1 has a retail price of $4,550, and you can see the full review on aBlogtoWatch soon. Thanks.